Welcome in everyone. So we have about a 30-minute practice today, working with our shoulders and upper body a little bit more. So I kept this practice a little bit shorter because for me personally, I find working into the shoulders to be really intense, and kind of a whole 60 or 75 or 90-minute class can be a little bit too much. So I just wanted to keep it short, shoulders, upper body, and we will get straight on into it. So have a block or something similar close by. You might also like to have a bolster close by as well. So come down onto your belly and get settled. So you can lay on your belly, you can have your head on your hands, or you might just have one cheek on the mat. Arms can be where they feel most comfortable. Just letting yourself get settled here. Closing down your eyes. And see if you can relax your neck, relax your shoulders. And see if you can soften your jaw. And allow your breath to deepen. Notice where you're holding any tension. Maybe it's in your toes, your feet, your legs, your hips. Maybe it's in your belly, your chest, your shoulders, arms, fingers. Maybe it's in that space between your eyebrows. And can you ask that tension to soften here? And can you breathe into it and offer it some space to let go? Knowing that it's safe to let go here. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose and let it out of our mouth. We'll make our way into our first yin pose, which is called Shoelace Arms. You might also know it as straight jacket. I prefer Shoelace Arms. So we're going to lift our chest as if we're coming into Sphinx Pose. So starting with the elbows under the shoulders, relaxing the belly, relaxing the chest. And just to start with here, make sure this feels okay through the lower back. There's no pinching or pain there. And see if you can relax your glutes as well. So from there, we're going to take our left arm behind the right arm in front of the left, and we're going to start walking the hands to opposite sides of the room. So getting into the top, the backs of the shoulders, compressing a little bit through the front of the chest. Now you can move your body forwards over your elbows a little bit more here, or you can back off a little bit. You don't have to take your hands really far over to the sides of the room. They can be just a little bit further. Just starting to feel this through the outsides of the shoulders. So we're not here for too long. This can, in my experience, be a really intense pose, really depending on your body, what you've been doing, how you've been feeling. And it can be nice to place a block or something similar under your head here on any height. But if that doesn't feel comfortable, maybe you just relax your head, relax your neck, and just hold yourself softly here. And there's that invitation to keep using your breath, sending it into those points where you feel tension, letting whatever needs to come up and out, up and out. And just offering yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of letting go of any burden you might have been holding. And a reminder here, if you feel any pain in your body anywhere, at any time in your yin practice, or anything that feels like it might lead towards pain, absolutely adjust yourself. Let this practice be healing, calming, rather than just a product to do. We don't want to harm ourselves. You might feel this really strongly in your shoulders, you might not. But just make sure you keep checking in with your lower back as well. Make sure this little compression in the lower back feels appropriate. Just about 1 minute to go. Take a deep breath in. Stay here to let it all go. Now, just in case you're doing a different side to me, remember which arm you have in front at the moment. And then slowly release your arms. Come back to center, bring your arms back to their proper sides. And make your way back down onto your belly. Find a little rebound between sides here. So again, you can have arms where they feel best. You might rest your head on your hands. Just go wherever you need to be to rest. And take one more deep breath in here. Stay, let it go. We'll make our way back up now towards a Sphinx position, coming to our second side. So again, make sure this feels okay for the lower back. You can take your feet a little bit wider if you need a little bit more space now. And then left arm is in front, unless you did the opposite side before. Right arm is underneath. And we start to walk the hands to opposite sides of the room. Finding that point where we're feeling this into the shoulders, the top of the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the back of the chest. And perhaps using support under the head, perhaps not. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the spine. Keeping your jaw soft. Let yourself soften into your pose. And see if you can relax here. If it's a bit hard to relax, you might have gone too far. You can always back off or deepen if you need. Notice where your tension is. Send it a breath. And see if you can let go. Be safe here. Just a little over 1 minute to go. One more deep breath in. Maybe you can sigh it out. And slowly let your body dictate how fast you move. Come out of the pose, walking your arms back to their respective sides and finding your way into your rebound. Now, if you need to rest on your belly, your back or your side, you absolutely can. Or you can stay on your belly. And just breathe. Feel the flush of energy, the change in temperature. If there is in your shoulders, your chest, your arms. Allow this change in your state of being. 3 more breaths. And then let's bring our hands under our shoulders. We'll lift ourselves away from the mat. Be gentle, be kind to yourself, be nice to your shoulders. And coming to hands and knees, we're going to offer ourselves just a few little cat-cows here to move through the spine, through the shoulders before we move on. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Take a breath in, let your chest drop, lift your tailbone, lift your chest. So belly drops, chest lifts. Mixing up my words today, we're looking up. As you exhale, pull your belly button towards your spine, chin towards your chest, let yourself round. If you need a little extra movement through the lower back, take that, be nice to yourself. Inhale, lift your chest, drop your belly, looking up. Exhale, round the spine, push the floor away, chin towards chest. Close your eyes, take a couple more rounds, take some other movement if you need it. And then we'll find our way to our next pose, which is melting heart pose or Anahatasana. So back to your hands and knees. Thinking about keeping your hips directly above your knees here. If you find your hips need to come back a little bit, that's absolutely fine. If you find this feels better as a child's pose variation, that's fine as well. But try not to let your hips come forward. It can make it really hard to actually surrender and relax into the pose. So figuring out where your hips need to be and then keeping them there as best you can. As you start to stick your butt in the air, walk your chest down towards the mat, head down towards the mat, arms are coming forward. And you can bring your head all the way to the floor, forehead on the mat. If you need a little bit more assistance here, you can bring a bolster to your chest here. It can make it a bit more supportive for you. And if you do that, you might also need a block or cushion under your head, or you can just relax your neck and head and hold it where it is. Arms can be shoulder distance wide, or you can take your hands wider if you need more space in the neck, in the shoulders. Or you might even like to bend the elbows and take opposite hands to opposite elbows. So we're here for about 3 minutes. If you need to exit the pose early, if it's getting too much, you can. Maybe you come back to child's pose. Maybe you come back to your belly. Wherever you are, can you surrender? Notice if the quality of your breath changes. Maybe there's a need for a deep sighing exhale here. Maybe there's a sense of vulnerability with an open heart, head down. Lean in. Just about 5 more breaths. One more deep breath in. Let it go. Slowly start to make your way out of your pose. So you might find that you want to just come back to a little child's pose here. You might want to come forward onto your belly, or you might come over onto your back now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let your exhale be long. We're going to come onto our back. We're going to finish this practice with a short twist on each side. So let yourself move slow onto your back in your own time. Make sure you have a little bit of space for your arms to go out wide. And then once you're on your back, take your arms out wide, palms facing up. You can bend your knees and bring your feet flat, or you can bring your knees a little closer to your chest. We're really thinking about this still being a shoulder pose. So try not to think about this too much as getting into the hips or compressing the belly too much. So if you need to just take this twist with feet down, just take it like that. Let it be gentle in the lower body so that you can focus on the upper body. But wherever you need to be, let's take a deep breath in. And then exhale and let your knees drop to the right. So you can bring your knees all the way to the floor. You can bring them to a support if you need. If you happen to be pregnant, be really mindful you're not compressing or crunching into the lower belly too much, or the belly. You can bring a cushion underneath that left shoulder if you need that support. Just being really mindful that we're not letting any parts of our body hang in space. Relax your neck. Maybe your head turns, maybe it stays centered. Make sure there's no tingling in the fingers. Adjust yourself if you need. Just about 10 breaths here. One more breath in. And a full exhale, surrender to the exhale. Head is centered. Gentle core activation to lift your knees back through center. Feet down, knock your knees together. 3 breaths. And then we'll find our way to the second side. So feet can stay flat. You can bring your knees closer to your chest if that feels better. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, let your knees drop to the opposite side. And coming to a support or all the way to the floor. Maybe you have a cushion underneath that right shoulder. Letting everything soften, let yourself feel supported. Head can stay centered or it can turn. About 10 breaths. Use an inhale. Knees will gently come back to center. And we're coming to our final deep rest now for just a couple of minutes. Give yourself this space to relax, to rebound, to rest. Legs can be long, arms can be where they feel best. It might feel better for you to have a support under your knees or thighs. Maybe you bring a support on top of your body, your hips, your legs, to help you ground and rest here. And coming back when I let you know. Come back to your breath and let it deepen. And come back to your body. Let it start to reawaken, wriggling fingers and toes, moving ankles, moving wrists. You might like to turn your head gently from side to side. You can take a full body stretch with your arms reaching overhead. And then you'll bend your knees towards your chest. Roll to one side, either side, and pause there for a moment. Keeping your eyes closed or down, use your top hand. Press yourself up, find yourself in a seat. And bring your hands to your heart space, palms together. Gently bow your head forward, honoring yourself for giving yourself this space to release. Namaste. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again very soon in the next practice.